UFC Vegas 71. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, Sergei Pavlovich versus Blaydes. We got a fun card in store. I'm going to talk about each of the matchups after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. Also note, full card fight companion, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Do not miss it on the channel. Let's get into the first one. First fight of the night, Batgerel, Danaa versus Brady Hiestand. I've been picking the side of Brady Hiestand to win the fight. I've been curious to see how Brady looks at the weigh-ins. I felt as though he was an extremely live dog throughout the entire week. Seeing him on the scale, I'll bring it up right now, and you guys will also get a peek. I actually think he looked great on the scale. I'll spoil it before I even bring him up. There is Danaa, who looks solid. No complaints with his look on the scale here. Brady looks in great shape. He looks a little older in his face. I don't know. He's maturing a little bit. He's super young. Early 20s. Big spot against Danaa. This is a very hard fight. I think Brady Hiestand has it, though. Training with Michael Chiesa, improving grappling. Definitely his stand-up's going to be getting better. And like you look at Danaa's loss to Ali Yadong, taken down, controlled a little bit in that fight. 2 fights in a row. Danaa has also lost. I mean, I know Brady Hiestand ended up taking an L to Ricky Turcios, who, didn't turn out to be maybe all that elite. But we can't judge the man off just one of his losses. I mean, he got a win over Fernie last time out, and then, lost to Kyoho Kyang for Danaa and Chris Gutierrez. I think Brady Hiestand wins, guys. I think that he is the sleeper underdog bet of the entire card here. At plus 135, I think we start this card off with a dog bet. I am attacking the Brady Hiestand side. Let's go after it. I think he's got this thing. I think he can do it. Probably goes longer here. Decision for Brady. If you're on Danaa, I know you're probably thinking knockout, which is around plus 150. Hiestand by sub, plus 575. It's not impossible Hiestand pulls out a submission, but I'm going to say he wins a hard-fought decision, though he does have some finishes in his career. He's an Ultimate Fighter finalist, and I think out of the contestants on that show, the winner especially being Ricky Turcios, I think Hiestand's got a much higher ceiling, and I think he's better than he showed against Turcios. And I think if they rematched, I'd favor Brady Hiestand to get it done. So I'm riding with Brady to win the first fight on the card, and he is an underdog. Okay, Priscilla Cachoeira, Karine Silva fight not happening. Cachoeira comes in well overweight. I think she came in at 130. Yeah, this says 135. They don't have the updated weigh-in. She came in at 130 for a fight at 125 pounds. Fight is off. Next fight, Francis Marshall, William Gomis. Gomis did miss weight by a tad on his first attempt. But ultimately, I like Gomis' chances in this fight. Francis Marshall's a good prospect. I'm picking the William Gomis side to win it. Think he can out-kickbox him for a decision win. I like the clean striking style that I see from Gomis. Ultimately, Marshall is going to be in his face. He's going to be live, and we have to respect 7-0 on one side. I do think William Gomis could win. I'm curious to see, though, how the scales could potentially affect what we're feeling here. This fight is off. There is Gomis, brings out a little Alex Pereira. There is Marshall, who looks in good shape. And you see, Gomis a bit taller. I think competitive decision, Gomis can edge it out in. I like his kickboxing game. And I think he's going to be able to defend the takedown of Marshall. I'm curious, though, how effective Marshall's offensive grappling is. I'm having a weird feeling that Gomis might get put on his back, and then we're like, fuck. He really doesn't have the grappling defense we thought. But ultimately, I still am on the underdog side of Gomis. There is no pick flip here. But like the way that I felt looking at Brady Hiestand on the scale across from Danaa versus William Gomis across from Francis Marshall, I'd be lying to you if I didn't feel like there's a better shot with Brady. Though I'm picking both guys, I feel something more with the Brady Hiestand side. Gomis could still be a dog play, though after the weigh-ins, I think go lighter at it. I do think probably him winning by decision. Ultimately, Marshall's a very dangerous test on the other side. Gomis to win on the scorecard, sitting around plus 195. I wouldn't recommend it, man. What's Marshall by submission? Plus 260? I'm just getting this weird feeling, bro. This weird feeling that Marshall's got a chance to lock something up. I'm picking William Gomis to win via decision on the cards. But like I said, I'd be lying to you if I'm not having worries heading into this one. I like Brady Hiestand dog better than I'm liking Gomis now, which earlier in the week I would have said something different. But after the weigh-ins, for some reason, the confidence has dropped a bit. Still enough to call him a pick, though. I'll go William Gomis on a hard-fought decision. But note that Francis Marshall is a very difficult test for him. Next fight on the card. Mohammed Usman and Junior Tafa. I am so excited to see these two heavyweights go after it. I've been picking Junior Tafa to get a KO win in this fight. Though I think that Mohammed Usman is an incredibly difficult physical specimen to deal with, I feel like Tafa's going to find the chin early in the fight. Looking at the scales here, there's Junior Tafa. There is Mohammed Usman. And there's the face-off. You can see Tafa a bit taller. Actually, I should probably shrink myself down, shouldn't I? There's myself shrunken down. And there's this face-off here. You can see, I mean, definitely more muscle on Usman's side. I'm more curious to see, does Usman go towards a bit of grappling in this fight? On the feet, power, definitely Usman has. But, shit, if you see Junior Tafa striking, you know it's dangerous. He brings the fire very early. I think he's going to get the KO in this fight. I'm going to go with Junior Tafa by knockout, and I think this fight is going under 2.5 rounds. I'm feeling pretty confident that this fight is not going all that long. The under is something I'm looking at. Under 2.5, not available everywhere, but Bovada has it at minus 250. I think that's an excellent play. Under 1.5, less good of a play at minus 120. There is a legitimate chance Usman backs him up against the cage, controls there a bit. Potentially this turns out to be a slower fight than we anticipated. So that under 1.5, like it's short time to get that KO win. I don't like that. I like under 2.5 better. Tafa slight favorite, about minus 120. I think Tafa gets the KO, but at plus 130, plus 140, it's not betting. It's not worth a bet. I think the under 2.5 rounds, if you have that available, is probably your best play with this matchup because I feel as though Usman has the power to get the KO. Tafa's style is KO or get KO'd. So I think someone's going to bet here. I'm going to pick Junior Tafa to win by KO. Next fight on the card. We got Karol Rosa and Norma Dumont. I've been picking Karol Rosa to win this thing all week long. I think that she's being a bit slept on in this matchup here. Stylistically, I think that she's got this fight. I don't know. I'm not overly impressed by Norma Dumont. I never am. I feel like Dumont is okay on the feet, but not great. I think that Rosa's better with her boxing. I think Rosa's better with her takedowns. And I see Rosa with more fight experience and 4 years younger. Karol Rosa's winning this fight, guys. That's the side that I'm on. It's the Karol Rosa side. Let me shrink myself down again here. There is Norma Dumont. There is Karol Rosa. And there's a face-off. Similar heights between these two. It's going to be a fucking good scrap. I'm excited to see what happens. But I think Karol Rosa edges this one out. I'm going to say she gets it done on the scorecards. I'm taking her by a decision. I don't know why this share button, it just keeps on popping up on my fucking screen over here. Holy shit. Rosa and Dumont are near even money. We got up around minus 116 Dumont, minus 104 Rosa. It's pretty much even Stevens here between these two. And I also think it's going over 2.5 rounds, which sits at minus 335. I don't like any of these props. Rosa by a decision probably happens, but ultimately at plus 180, not my favorite play. I'm going to pick Rosa to win. Not a terrible money line, but ultimately this is going to be a competitive fight. I don't see it as a one-sided washout, but I believe Karol Rosa to get her hand raised at the end of it. Decision win, Karol Rosa. Next fight on the card. We have Rani Yahya versus Montel Jackson. Listen, Rani Yahya, lock of the century. I'm totally joking with you guys. Montel Jackson has been the pick all week. Extremely confident pick. I honestly can't see him losing this fight. I'd be shocked, mind-boggled. It doesn't seem possible for Rani Yahya to win. I would say the likelihood of it is almost zero. Montel Jackson, looking good on the scale. Rani Yahya, a little bit of deodorant stains. Looks like a, 45-year-old jiu-jitsu instructor. He definitely knows martial arts. Doesn't look like he should be fighting a hungry contender in Montel Jackson, who's on the come-up right now. Doesn't look like he has a chance. I think Montel Jackson probably sleeps him because Rani Yahya has mid stand-up at best, and he doesn't have the offensive wrestling to get Jackson down. So it's really Montel Jackson controlling where this fight goes, and he's got the better striking. Give me Montel Jackson via knockout. I think he's getting a KO. Money line is crazy. Minus 540 to plus 490, plus 420 for Yahya. Could be good luck for some of you. No, you're just going to burn your money. Like you're burning it up on 420. At plus 420, you're just burning money on Rani Yahya. Don't do it. He's not going to win. Montel Jackson is not losing. No chance. Zero. Montel Jackson to win by a decision, plus 290. Montel Jackson by a KO is expected. It's at minus 125. I do think Montel Jackson's hands are going to get going here. Now, I will acknowledge there have been times where Montel Jackson underwhelms. He doesn't necessarily go for the finish. He's got, 3 of his last 4 wins are by decision. 4 of the last 5 fights he went distance in 4 of the last 5 fights. That Brett Johns loss, I remember that fight. I think Montel Jackson by KO. Yahya's got no fucking chance here. Yahya's well past his best days. I mean, not a ton of consistency later in the career. I think Montel could sleep him. Ultimately, I like moneyline Montel, but it's a disgustingly wide line. I think more of a parlay piece. We'll talk parlays at the end, and, I got a money play for you guys. Let's jump to the featured prelim of the night. We got Ricky Glenn versus Christos Giagos. I'm picking Ricky Glenn to win a competitive fight against Giagos. I think Glenn's stand-up is clearly better. I think Giagos is scrambly and difficult and strong to deal with in the grappling department. But on the feet, I could see Rick Glenn sneaking a straight shot through. So the scale is something that I've been very curious about throughout the entire week. When they step onto that scale, how's Ricky Glenn and Giagos' frames going to look? Let's see how they look when they face off. There's Giagos, looks in pretty good shape. There's Glenn, looks pretty good as well. Then there's a face-off. I think Rick Glenn could hurt him with straight shots, but ultimately I do have a feeling it goes distance. I'll take Rick Glenn on the cards, but I'd like to see him get the KO. I don't know, it's seems to me as there's a real possibility that he lands a good straight and drops Giagos. But more likely is him winning by a decision, even if he does land the knockdown. Looking at Rick Glenn, he's around minus 160, minus 145 best value. Giagos in that plus 150 range. I don't really like an over in this fight. What's Glenn by KO? Plus 385. Glenn by decision, plus 135. They don't call my name. I'm not feeling really called upon playing this. Round 1 KO plus 950 Rick Glenn. I'm not getting called to go and try to fucking play this thing between these two. I don't know. I just don't like the betting side. I'm chilling on this fight. No interest in the bet actually whatsoever on either side. Definitely just going to sit back and watch this one. Enjoy the end of the prelims and then jump on up to the main card, which we're about to talk about. But ultimately, Rick Glenn, the pick to win by decision. I respect Giagos' game, but I don't think he can beat Rick Glenn. First fight on the main card. Make sure you guys smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. Jeremiah Wells versus Matthew Semelsberger. I have been picking the heavy-handed Jeremiah Wells to get a knockout throughout the whole week. I think Jeremiah Wells by KO is extraordinarily live in this fight. I want to bring up the scales. We'll check them out. But ultimately, I have a strong opinion on how this fight is going to go. And we'll talk betting side in a second here. There's Matt Semelsberger, who looks like he ate a couple hamburgers through camp. I feel like normally he's more shredded than that. I don't see a full six-pack. There's Jeremiah Wells. Thick, muscle, jacked, and intense looking. Stocky build. Look at this. Powerhouse build. This is a pure build of power. Semelsberger's tough, though. I respect Semelsberger's game. Ultimately, I think Wells has got the sting to put him to bed. So I'm going Wells by KO. So let's look at this. Jeremiah Wells. Let's look at two bets here. First, let's look at money line. Minus 106, Semelsberger. Minus 114, Wells. It's pick'ems. Under 1.5, plus 145. I think there's a chance it goes under. Let's see. Wells by knockout, upwards of plus 350. I think this could be a good play, Wells by KO. Semelsberger KO is also plus 350. I think you could prop up Wells by KO, and if the fight starts really getting away from him, you could potentially live bet on the side of Semelsberger to cover your ass. Wells by KO in the first round, plus 700. I think Wells could catch him probably in the first 2 rounds. Matt Semelsberger definitely live later. End of the second round, into the third. I'll say Wells is getting a knockout win, though. I'm riding the Wells KO side. I'm confident that he can pull this thing out. But I respect Semelsberger as a game test for him, and we're going to find out a ton about Wells, who really needs this fight at 36. A win here skyrockets him. A loss is unacceptable. Yasmin Lucindo versus Brogan Walker. I've been picking Brogan Walker all week against the grain, dealing with the heat. And I don't blame you guys for shitting on me for the ones that did. I know some of you thought it was actually a ballsy play, which thank you for that. Looking at the scales, let's find out if anything changes, if anything comes to mind, if there's any questions that we have. Brogan Walker with the hand signals, which is dangerous. Lucindo with the sunglasses, also dangerous to do. Right now, these girls have jinxed each other. Look, for a second, please look at this. Walker's bigger. Walker's been in there with better fighters. Lucindo is 21. Brogan Walker is probably, I know Iasmin is a really impressive prospect, but at least credential-wise, Brogan Walker's got to be the best fighter Lucindo's ever fought. I think that Brogan Walker is going to pull off a massive upset in this fight. I love the underdog side of Brogan Walker. I'm more confident seeing her in great shape on the scales. You can kind of see the difference of muscle tone in the frame. I am telling you guys, when they get into the grappling entanglements, Brogan Walker is going to outmuscle her, and everybody's going to say, what the fuck? Give me Brogan Walker. Give me the win. I like moneyline. Just moneyline it. You don't need to sub-prop it and look for some crazy shit and try to hunt for better value when you already have nearly plus 300, plus 295. Brogan Walker, plus 295. Give me Brogan Walker all day. All day. Now, I'll bring up the props, but I'm not recommending it. Walker decision, plus 350. Walker sub, plus 1800. Holy shit. Just give me plus 295 Brogan Walker. I mean, if you want to lightly stab that sub, you can. I definitely could see her grinding out a win. As the week has gone on, I think she grinds out a hard-fought decision, but I've been thinking sub earlier in the week, so I do think sub is live. Brogan Walker is the pick. She looks great. I think she's ready to rock, and I think she's ready to pull off a huge upset. A 21-year-old girl, 13-5, versus Brogan, who went through the ringer of hell on The Ultimate Fighter. Give me Brogan Walker. Upset. Massive upset. Feature bout. Bobby Green, Jared Gordon. I am picking Bobby Green. I have been all week long. I think that he's a great pick. I'm high confidence Bobby Green. I know he got knocked out recently, Flash knockout, and he's fighting the Flash, Jared Gordon, but the Flash is not sniping him out. Gordon doesn't have that type of sting in his hands like a Drew Dober. I think Bobby Green pieces him up with the hands. Clear win. I'm going to say Bobby Green money line is your best play, but ultimately I do think Bobby Green, decision prop, excuse me. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself with the odds. There's Jared Gordon. There's Bobby Green. There's an intense face-off. I say Bobby Green's got him, man. I got to move myself. I got to shrink myself. Holy shit. Look at this face-off right here. Intense. The pick, Bobby Green. You got to go decision. I got to go decision, Bobby Green. I'm sticking with my initial guns. Minus 265 Green, plus 225 Gordon. Give me money line. Bobby Green's a great play. Yes, it's wide, but he's going to win. Green by decision, the official pick. Minus 115. What's Green by KO is plus 225. Just give me money line. Green money line. And a parlay piece, too. We'll talk parlays at the end, and I'll definitely have Bobby Green's name up again. He's a great pick. High confidence. Riding with Bobby Green to get it done. Co-main event of the evening. It's Brad Tavares versus Bruno Silva. You know, I've been pretty stoked for this fight after watching the weigh-ins earlier. Obviously, I kind of tuned into the weigh-ins a little bit before this. I'll tell you something. This is going to be a fucking scrap. Really good matchup. I've been picking Brad Tavares all week. But Bruno Silva, I got to say something. Looks fucking good. Looks like he's here to win. Bruno Silva shredded. Got the hair grown out. The chain on. He looks suave. He looks confident. Brad Tavares has always got pretty big fucking biceps, looking jacked, ready to go to war. And then there's the face-off. You know, I'm picking Brad Tavares to win a decision, but I hear this whisper in my ear. Bruno Silva by KO prop. So I got to look at the Bruno Silva by KO prop. I don't know why. Shredded out Bruno. Brad Tavares, who I would say has like a 6.5 out of 10 chin. He takes a good punch, but no way it's iron. I know Bruno did bad against Meerschaert, but I think he turned that shit up. I think he underestimated Meerschaert. Plus 145 money, Bruno Silva. It's crazy. I'm fucking talking about Bruno Silva, giving him the hype when the pick has been Brad Tavares all week. When I see the shredded look, it's just something is telling me Bruno Silva's live here. So Bruno Silva by KO. It's not a great tag. Plus 205. Damn it. Tavares by decision. Plus 170. I don't know. I'm not betting money line on Brad Tavares. I'm picking Brad. I've been picking him all week. I think the stylistic matchup, if we get a Bruno like last time. But, dude, something's telling me Bruno Silva's KOing him, guys. Something's whispering to me. Fuck it. Before I make an official flip of the pick, I got to give this one more glance. I hate flipping picks. But ever since I saw Bruno get on the scale, I said, damn, he looks ready for warfare here. Fuck it. Fuck it. You got to have balls to do the show. We're flipping the pick. We're going Bruno Silva. Knockout. Bruno Silva's going to knock him out. I've been getting this weird feeling since seeing the weigh-ins. I don't know. He looked really fucking good on the scales. He doesn't look like last fight. I feel like he's ready for war. Now, ultimately, I picked Brad Tavares throughout the week. So, do with this as you wish. Be cautious. Ultimately, I like dog money. Not just picking him because he's a dog, though. It's not because he's a dog that I'm flipping the pick. It's because how he looked on the scale. I think Bruno's sleeping him. So give me the plus money on Bruno Silva. I think he's a live dog. But I also think the KO could happen here. Plus 205. I think Bruno could catch him. Ultimately, money line safer, but knockout is live too. I'm flipping the pick. I didn't intend to flip the pick. I didn't want to flip the pick. I just have to go with how I'm feeling. I'm flipping it. Bruno Silva, knockout win. Pick flip, baby. Pick flip in the co-main event. Holy shit. We're in for a good card with a fucking pick flip. All right, let's get to the main. Sergei Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Sergei Pavlovich, underdog, lock of the week. I've been riding with him all week long, and I was so excited to reassure myself with seeing him on the scale. So without further ado, we'll bring up the Savage on the scale. Now, Curtis Blaydes is a great fighter as well. Extremely well-rounded heavyweight. Specializes in the wrestling. Curtis Blaydes with the scruffy beard. Looks like he just woke up, to be honest. He kind of looks gorilla mode, ready for war. Sergei Pavlovich, the fucking Russian polar bear. The Russian Express. Thick. These guys' frames are close, man. Look at them standing side by side. Pavlovich is thicker. Curtis Blaydes did not TKO Jairzinho Rosenstruik on the ground. But everybody's acting like if Pavlovich somehow goes on the floor, the fight is absolutely over because of one fight, the Overeem debut. I'm telling you, Pavlovich has a wrestling game. I'm telling you, Pavlovich can grapple a bit. I'm telling you, on the feet, Pavlovich is going to lay Curtis Blaydes clean out. Give me Sergei Pavlovich by knockout, lock of the week. More confident after the weigh-ins. He looks jacked. Let's go, Sergei Pavlovich. Plus 152 best value, but around plus 145 for Sergei Pavlovich. I love it. Curtis Blaydes around that minus 150 range. I got knockout win for Sergei Pavlovich. I think that's what's going to happen here. Plus 175. I feel as though the way Pavlovich fights, it could be very live in the first round. Sergei Pavlovich to win by first round knockout sits only at plus 195 at BetOnline, plus 330 elsewhere. I don't like that. Round 2 is plus 800, though. Just money line it. Just money line it. Sergei Pavlovich, underdog lock. Go with Sergei, dog money. Let's play it. I think he's going to prove that he can defend takedowns, and when he hits people in the face, they go to sleep. I'm telling you, I think Sergei Pavlovich is the scariest guy at heavyweight right now. John Jones probably fighting Stipe. I'd assume he retires after, but I'd question what would happen between the boogeyman Sergei Pavlovich and Johnny Bones, especially after what goes down this weekend. So we're going Pavlovich to win the main event of the evening. But we're not done yet, guys. It's time to talk about some parlays. Let's get some intelligent plays going. We're going to do, safer parlays, intelligent parlays. I want to give you guys some good money that you can make with high likelihood of success. Minus 265 Bobby Green with the minus 550 Montel Jackson. Minus 159 rather. Minus 160 about. This Bruno Silva edition after the weigh-ins, I'm like re-encouraged that Bruno Silva's going to get the win. Plus 290 if you added Bruno Silva in, but I like money line better on the dog side. Brady Hiestand. Very live dog. Hiestand, Pavlovich, Silva. Can you imagine? Plus 2,090. The ballsiest dog and lock parlays, really. Bobby Green, Montel Jackson, Hiestand, Pavlovich, Bruno Silva, and Brogan Walker if you had her too. And we went chaos mode. We got plus 8,551. Listen, I think dogs are coming to bark on this card. There have been a lot of dogs barking recently, and I'm not just picking the dogs because they're dogs. I'm picking these guys because I think they're going to win the fucking fight, and there happens to be some savage underdogs that could come through. Don't go crazy on your parlays. I think you shoot more for the value as opposed to, just trying to snipe out 4 high confidence favorites, because ultimately in my most confident picks, I just put Bobby Green and Montel Jackson. And then I have the lock being main event, Russian Savage, Sergei Pavlovich, plus 300. So that could be a play potentially. Be cautious with your bets, but especially your parlays. I like some money line dog attacks on this card. And obviously I like these two most confident picks. There's nothing crazy, but there is a lot of chaos you can do. Like if you did that dog Savage play, those are really the only guys I recommend considering for a parlay. I mean, Jeremiah Wells could win it at plus 211. He definitely could pull it off by KO. Could be another addition. Mix and match it how you would like. But ultimately, 2-3 fighters for your most high likelihood of success. I hope you guys enjoyed another weigh-in recap show. I had a great time talking about the cards. As I've said, I will be live tomorrow, the entire event, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Watch me enjoy the fights. Watch me sweat out the bets. And, I'll be talking to the live chat throughout the whole thing. Let's get this lock of the week back on track. And it's going to start with Sergei Pavlovich hammering home a victory. Much love, people. Thank you all for tuning in. Smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. And make sure, if you got nothing to say in the comments, drop a W in the chat to boost that algorithm. Much love. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace, everyone.